Northeast is Nigeria's largest geopolitical zone, covering nearly one-third of the nation's total land area. It has endured a protracted war of over 15 years. In 2009, jihadist insurgent group Boko Haram announced its goal to form a province of the Islamic State in the states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe. This threw the region into crisis as the Nigerian government launched an immediate response to subdue the group. The conflict has significantly disrupted economic activities, especially in Borno State, the epicenter of the crisis. While the military has been successful in its operations, this has not been without casualties on both sides. Recently, rights watch group Amnesty International alleged that over 10,000 people have died in military custody since the onset of the Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria, a reason why it has filed a case for the International Court of Justice in The Hague, alleging crimes against humanity in the region. But the Nigerian government says this is false. Major General Waidi Shaibu is the theater commander of the Operations Harden Kai, a military operation launched to dislodge terrorists in the northeast. He says the military has been very professional in its operations nationwide.
When people throw out figures anyhow, have you ever seen 10,000 people arranged in a hall, in a place? I'm sure most of them have not even spoken to 1,000 people before. When you say 10,000 people die in detention, that's not true, just as has been said earlier on. The same figure they sent about the 10,000 abortions that here in the Northeast, which the National Human Rights Commission have absolved the military from that. Following that, they brought up this figure. So it's part of their imagination, and I don't think there's anything like that.
Over the last 15 years, in the course of prosecuting the war against insurgency, there have been a series of allegations against the Nigerian military, some of them bordering on human rights abuses. But the military says it has been very, very professional in its handlings of detainees, suspects and victims of the insurgency. The Justice Investigation Center, Giwa Barracks, is one of the detention facilities in the Northeast. Currently, it holds 1,963 suspected terrorists who are under investigation for their roles in the insurgency. While in the facility, they are taught skills as part of the state government's disarmament, demobilization and reintegration program, which seeks to rehabilitate former Boko Haram fighters and reintegrate them back into the society. On this visit, the Arise news crew is not allowed to film due to recent restrictions, but there are obvious structural developments compared to our last visit in November 2022. The Deputy Commanding Officer, Colonel A.U. Ahmed, debunks allegations of maltreatment in the facility. He says the investigation center is a model which is now replicated in several parts of the world.
The facility has a clinic to cater for the health needs of the detainees. Serious medical cases are, however, referred to 7D Medical Service and Hospital and the University Teaching Hospital Maiduguri, respectively. Special cases requiring surgery are also attended to by the command.
Climate change has been a major enabler of the crisis. Analysts say the shrinking Lake Chad Basin has increased competition for scarce resources and is responsible for forced migration and conflict. The theater commander is also calling on the government to dredge the Lake Chad Basin so that livelihoods can be restored.
We can say that the Lake Chad Basin is one of the areas we have challenges here because of the water hyacinth and the situation, the silation that is in that general area. So in that area, we look at efforts trying to get the National Inland Waterways, right, to come to dredge parts of the Lake Chad that I now have a lot of water hyacinth in their place that prevent easy navigation of that terrain.
Nigeria is facing severe food scarcity attributed to the impact of climate change and insecurity. In April 2024, the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs warned that 2.3 million people in the Northeast face acute food scarcity. To stem the tide, The military prioritized the security of farmers during the farming season.
Like other military formations in Borno State, the 333 Artillery Regiment in Jimtilo Kunduga local government area provides security and a fortress for residents and locals to return back to normalcy. But just behind me are farmers harvesting what is left of the planting season.
Fatima Mongone is a resident and farmer in Njimtilo Konduga local government area in Borno State. She speaks on the protection offered by the military for farmers.
Thank God, this farming season was successful. Before now, we were afraid of Boko Haram. Now we can go as far into our farms and into the bush to farm.
Arise News also visited the 7th Division in Meduguri and forward operating bases in Magumeri and Shaboy, where the military and other joint security services are providing security and other non-kinetic services to the people. Even though the Northeast has suffered significant loss in terms of life and infrastructure, the armed forces say they remain resolute in providing the needed services as the bastion of unity to ensure things return to normal. Ferdinand Duroja, Arise News.